Hi, it's Shirley Chancellor again with Lighthouse Christian Church in Bismarck, Arkansas, for another segment of At the Table with Shirley. I'm so glad that you took time to view, and I hope you'll take time to comment below and give me some feedback. I would love that. Our topic today is climbing over boulders. I recently took a trip with my daughter and her two girls, my granddaughters, to Tennessee, and we spent several days outside. It was wonderful, but we did a lot of hiking and a lot of climbing. And the first place they took me, we were going to go to a waterfall, but we had to climb down the side of a mountain to get to the waterfall. And my first glance over that railing at what we were going to have to maneuver was daunting, to say the least. But you know, I knew it'd be a struggle getting down there, but I kept thinking, how will I get back up? Oh my goodness. But I was so determined, and I just prayed, and I wanted to have a good time with them. And that's something they love. And it's something I love too. I really do enjoy it. So we made it. We climbed over and around and through and up and down. And I admit on the way back, we had to stop and rest frequently. Mostly for me, but for all of us. But it was such a feeling of victory and triumph when we got back to the top. And we went on several other excursions similar to that while we were there those 3 days. And I just loved it. And I just praised God and thanked him every day for having the endurance and the ability to go and to make it. That strength did not come from me, and I knew it. That strength came from him. And you know, our life is climbing over boulders, isn't it? Not just the life of a believer, but everyone. And you know, we go to a fit camp a couple of times a week where we exercise and work out, and that's pretty tough too. But I do it to keep myself fit, to keep myself limber, especially at my age, and to build up my endurance. And we need to do that, don't we? We need to keep our endurance built up and our health as good as we can to be of service to the Lord, to go over those boulders. We know that trials and tribulations come. The Bible tells us that. And so we want to be spiritually fit too, maybe even more so than physically, but they're both very important. And I found just a few scriptures to help us understand that, what we need to do in order to make it over those boulders. And the first one I'd like to share with you is Ephesians 6, 11 and 12. Put on God's complete set of armor provided for us so that you will be protected as you fight against the evil strategies of the accuser. Your hand-to-hand combat is not with human beings, but with the highest principalities and authorities operating in rebellion under the heavenly realms. For they are a powerful class of demon gods and evil spirits that hold this dark world in bondage. They do. Our world is dark right now. You know, when Christ comes back, that will change. But we have the hand-to-hand combat, the armor. It says right here that is provided for us. Yes, we still have to make the climb. We still have to fight the battle, but we don't have to do it alone. We have the God of angel armies with us on our side, who sends those angel armies to help us. And it's so comforting to know that. Matthew 19:26, Jesus looked at them and said, with man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. All things. You know, if I had known that without a shadow of a doubt, looking down that mountain on our first hike when we went on our trip, if I had known this, I don't think I would have ever even attempted it, because I knew I couldn't do it under my own power and strength. But it was my desire, it was my heart's desire to do this with my child and her children. And so God honored me by giving me the strength and the ability to do it. And I'm so grateful. It was a wonderful trip and I had a wonderful time. Philippians 4:12. I know what it means to lack. I know what it means to experience overwhelming abundance. For I'm trained in the secret of overcoming all things, whether in fullness or in hunger. And I find that the strength of Christ's explosive power infuses me to conquer every difficulty. You know, we are trained in the secret of overcoming things. And we are. When we're in the Word and we're praying and we're communing with Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, they speak to us. They teach us things. They empower us. You know, you think about athletes, their coaches don't get out there and play those games with them. They don't get on that track and run those races with them, but they are the force behind them. They're the ones telling them, you can do this. They provide them with the equipment, the armor, so to speak, and the head knowledge that you can do this. I know it looks impossible. I know it's painful. I know you have to push yourself, but you can do it. And that's the way the Father is with us. He's wanting us to achieve that ultimate goal, and that is to be with Him throughout eternity. And James, the last one, is James 1, 2, and 3. My fellow believers, when it seems as though you're facing nothing but difficulties, see it as an invaluable opportunity to experience the greatest joy that you can. For you know that when your faith is tested, it stirs up power within you to endure all things. It stirs up power within you to do all things, all things. We all climb over boulders every day of our lives. Sometimes just getting up out of bed is a climb and a struggle and takes great effort, right? But the joy that comes from achieving each little goal, each little distance we make in our race we call life. And we all do. I just want to encourage you that you don't have to do it alone. And yes, we have Holy Spirit and Jesus and the Father with us all the time and angels around us. He sends angels to help us, but we have each other. And don't ever hesitate to reach out. You can always message me and I'll pray for you. I certainly hope you'll pray for me. I wouldn't make it without the prayer of the saints, And we have to hold each other up. And Jesus said, when you do this for the least of them, you do it for me. So what we do for each other, to encourage each other, to give each other that push over that next boulder, we do it for Him. Because we are going to climb boulders and we are going to climb mountains and we are going to speak to those mountains and God will remove some of those mountains. Now, speaking spiritually, of course, some of those things that seem insurmountable to us are not insurmountable to Him. And many days I finish the day and God, thank you. You helped me make it through that, or you helped me dodge this bullet, or you helped me, I just, wow, the things you do for me. And, I'd rather climb over boulders with Him than without Him. I've been without Him in my lifetime before I came to know the Lord and really understand Him, His character, and put in the time to have a personal relationship with Him. And I'd much rather be with Him than without Him. And the boulders without Him were much bigger and much harder to scale, or they seem to be. And as a matter of fact, to be quite honest with you, I didn't make it over a lot of them. Not when I was without Him. I just didn't. I failed in so many ways and in so many areas of my life. Hindsight is 20/20, and we don't want to look back with regrets, of course, but I can see many relationships and many times that it would have been better. I could have done better. I could have been better. I could have had better if I had done it with Him instead of without Him. So let's climb those boulders. Let's do it with Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and with each other. Reach out to each other. Anyway, keep praying for me, and I'll keep praying for you. And I'll see you again next week. Bye.